Okay, you guys, here we go. We're going to do a lower body focus, whole body workout. You should be warm and ready to go. All right, so the neck rolls to get you started, and we're going to do some body weight squats. We're just feeling out that movement pattern. How does your body feel today? How do your knees feel today? Move back through those hips, down into the heels, chin down. You can put your arms in front of you or your arms overhead to try and change the resistance. All right, let's do some hip circles. So I want you to do between 5 and 10 hip circles each direction. If you're really loose and jerky and falling all over the place, use the wall or a PVC or something to help stabilize you. Really focus on moving the hip through the full range of motion. Make sure that you go both directions on each hip. So you're going to externally rotate between 5 and 10 reps. Honestly, if your hips feel like they need it, do 15 reps. And then you want to make sure that you go the other way and you internally rotate as well. And it's just the opposite direction that you're going to take your hip through. Really being aware of standing through the heel, rolling the shoulders back and down, trying to stay stable and in control, activating through the glute. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit more warm up here. And we're going to fold down, walk it out into inchworm. All right. Now, I want you to take a high step forward, pick a leg, stretch it out. You're in high lunge. You can bring both hands into the inside of your knee, tap your knee down, lift up. We're really flossing through these different tight points and sticking points you might have in your hip. Come up, rotate for the other direction, stretch through. So now you can see here, I tap my knee down and lift it back up. When I lift it back up, I'm really squeezing that quad and squeezing that glute, resting it, and then coming back up. A couple of lateral lunges each way. Make sure those hips are really back and behind you. Bring your arms overhead to see how tight your back is and where your control is. Really make that space behind you strong. A couple of deep sumo squats. Push those hips back, make sure those toes are forward. Activate through the core. Take a breath. Let's do some rotational stretching, some mobility. I'm going to open up through that back. Most of us have way tighter lats than we think we do. So stretching out through the ribs, stretching out through the back, through the serratus, through your intercostal muscles in your ribs is really going to help to make you feel more open and mobile before you start your lift. Mobility is life, you guys. A couple of overhead reaches to work on those lats, moving through that body. I was really sore today when I started, so you can see that me getting a little momentum going was brutal. I also didn't realize that I was working out with my sunglasses on. The garage, because of that glare over to the left, is really bright, but probably not bright enough that I need to look like a jerk wearing my sunglasses inside. The future's just so bright. Okay, so get yourself ready. You should have 2 dumbbells. And what I want you to do is I want you to grab something that you can put your toes and your heels up on. So first we're going to start with toes. We're going to do a nice narrow squat, toes up. And I lied when I said squat. We're going to do a straight leg deadlift. My notes were wrong, you guys. All right, straight leg deadlift. Toes up, push back through those hips, pull up and back over. Really push down through your heels on the way up. Keep your shoulders engaged, chin down. Remember, this is a hip hinge motion. You're going to do between 10 and 15 reps depending on how your body feels today. Push through that back, stretch through the hamstrings. When it's time to stand up, push down through your heels and push your hips forward. Pull your body up, over, extend through the hip, and pull your body back up. This is a hip motion. Remember to squeeze through. All right, so now we're gonna go into sumo squats. Nice wide stance, really putting those hips back behind you. Squat down into it, push your knees out away. When you stand up, think about squeezing the muscles of your inner thighs up and together. Keep those shoulders rolled back, push your hips back behind you, toes forward, push out through the knees, chin down, make sure your upper back is flat, and take a breath. And now we're gonna go into bodyweight squats. We're staying in that same sumo, but these are pulses. With pulses, you're not gonna quite come all the way up to the top, but you're gonna come right back down into that range of motion. This is brutal on the glutes and on the core. So remember, you're not just bouncing at the end of your tissues, you're actually activating through. Each of these exercises, you're gonna do between 10 and 15 reps to see what's best for you. And then we're gonna do at least 3 sets. Get a little water, get yourself ready, and we're gonna do it again. Placing your toes on the plates or whatever you have to raise your toes up. Now engage through the upper back and push your hips back behind you. You're gonna see that I'm gonna move this because I want you to be able to see the hip activation, motion. Hips back and up. So really pushing back through those hips and pushing down through those heels on the way up. 3, 4, 5, drag your hips back, 6, your shoulders should be tight, 7, chin tucked, 8, push down through your heels, 9, 10, 11, keep moving through, 12. All right, so now we're gonna just move over here and we're gonna sumo squat with that same weight. Nice and wide, drop it low, control that motion down and back up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and right back into those sumo squats. I was really tired, you guys, today. So try and maintain keeping the same number of reps through every exercise that you do that you can handle. Press up, really pulse into those bodyweight sumos, and rest. We really want to maximize on that pulsing. Okay, you guys, so now, one more. I'm going to adjust this just a little bit. Probably should get some water, take a breath. Your rest depends on your exertion. So if you're really tired, rest longer. If you're not, let's go again. Slide those hips back, 1, 2, shoulders tight, 3, remember your toes are up, 4, it's really helping to push you back into those heels, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Let's see. Let's do a couple more because they're feeling good. And 12. Beautiful. Okay, now we want to go back into those sumos. Bring your feet wide. Push your hips back and down. Brace your core and engage. 1, 2, 3. Control those knees. Brace your core. 5, 6, 7, push your hips back. 8, strong through the upper back. 9 and 10. 11, 12. 13. Oh, no, we're just resting them. Haha. Okay, guys, here we go. Pulsing sumos. Check those feet. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, 13. I think I was at 12 anyway. You guys can see how tired I am here, trying to get my body moving. What's funny is you can see right here, while I'm resting and trying to catch my breath, that's Matt that came out and is talking shit about me wearing my sunglasses, which didn't even occur to me. It's so funny. All right, so we're gonna get ready for the next exercises. While you're doing this, make sure that you get some water. So we want to do a narrow squat with our heels up. Really thinking about your form on these. Okay, really need to have good control of the knee. Remember to drive your hips back, heels up. Gonna get a lot of quad in this. All right, 1, drive those hips back. 2, really sit down into those hamstrings, into those glutes. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. There we go. Okay. Now we want to do squat jacks. Not fun, but highly effective, especially for at home. Here we go. So down and jack. Down and jack. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Oh, I think I stopped at 15, you guys. I apologize for my counting skills. Okay, we're gonna calf raise. Find something to stabilize yourself so you can really get up on those toes. Think about being able to find your big toe all the way down to your pinky toe. See how quick I'm moving them? I'm trying to spend as little time on the floor as possible. They keep those, pull those calves up, pull them up. There we go. So I want you doing between 15 and 20. Really trying to pull those calf muscles all the way up the back side of your body. Okay, beautiful. Take a breath. As I just realized that I had sunglasses on. Well, Matt made fun of me. All right, let's go back into those squats. Heels up. This is not an easy workout, you guys. And I want you to go with weight that's heavy enough to challenge you. So if you can't use dumbbells, use something else that's heavy. Take your time going through it. Here we go. Push your hips back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hips back. Chin down. Shoulders back. 8, 9. Push through your big toe. 10, 11, and 12. Beautiful. Couple more? Sure. 15 total, you guys. Now, we're going to go back into those squat jacks. Make sure that you have plenty of room so you're stable when you do these. The higher you jump, the better. The more explosive. You can also add your hands if you need more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Nope, not 16, only 15. All right, back into those calf raises, you guys. Add a little weight this time. And you can also put your toes to add a little intensity up on whatever you used to do your squats and your deadlifts. You really draw up with those toes, draw up with your heels, press down with your toes. Draw up with your heels and press down with your toes. You're doing between 15 and 20 of these calf raises. Really up tall and right back down. Move quickly, trying to keep that heart rate up. I don't know about you guys, but my butt is always on fire after I get done with calf raises. I get such a good activation through the back side of my body, all the way up my hamstrings. Let's get ourselves ready. We're going to work on the next exercise. So we're going to do one more set of squats, those heels up. So I changed my position so you guys can see what the different positioning looks like. Make sure you roll your shoulders back, push those hips back and down. 2, keep your back flat. 3, 4, good, roll your shoulders back. 5, really push those hips back. 6, 7, push the ground away from you on the way up. Try to do the work. Core engaged, down and back up. Depending on how light your weight is, you're going to do between 10 and 15 reps. Then move through this whole range of motion. I think I used 20s most of the day here. Period. Sometimes, as you're going, you realize that what you've bitten off is too much to chew. Don't have an ego about it. Drop your weight so you don't get injured. Here we go, squat jack. Really be fluid on those knees. Drop right back into it so you're soft landing on that joint. There you go, change that direction. You can also do them in circles, you know, if you're bored. And if the kids are home or whatever. See how far back my hips go. Trying to keep my back engaged. Core tight, up and back together. Good. 15 to 20 is really going to jack that heart rate, and that's what we're looking for. We're going to do one more set of calf raises. Adding weight. If you have it to add, do it. Make sure that you switch hands if you're going to do single arm like this. Up and back down. Remember, 15 to 20. We're really going to keep it moving. Lift them up. Keep a little soft bend in your knees. Really focus on activating through that calf. You want to feel the calf work. So if you can't feel the calf work, try to adjust your body so that you can. A lot of this stuff is being able to figure out for yourself how things in your body respond and activate. Okay, you guys, take a breath, get some water, and we're going to do another set. We're going to do another exercise. So, hopefully you're recovered. You should be getting tired. The next one we're going to do is split squat, and we're going to do some floor work as well. We need something that you can use to put your back foot on. So like I have this little chair. This will work. You could, like if you had a rack like mine, you could rack that barbell and use your foot on the barbell at the lowest position, any number of things. You're also going to need a pad for the floor. And if you have a band, that's ideal. All right. So split squats, there's a few ways to do these. And what we want to remember is if you have knee problems, you really need to be getting those hips back and trying to keep that shin as vertical as possible. The other thing that I'm going to tell you guys, it's a lot easier to do it this way and push your foot back versus push your foot on there and then try to jump forward. All right, you guys are about to see me get myself beat up. Okay, we're gonna do 2 pulses, all the way down, halfway up, back down, and all the way up. So these are pulsing Bulgarian split squats. They are guaranteed to make you feel like your legs are going to explode. Really make sure that you're controlling that movement, control that pulse. 10 reps on each leg is going to do wonders for that soreness and that activation and making your legs feel like they're going to explode. The counting thing tends to be the harder part of this journey. Don't forget to switch hands when you switch legs. So you're going to put your dumbbell in the hand of the back leg. It's the leg that's on the chair. Drop it down, lift it up. I was already starting to feel my quad be ready to explode by here. Control, really push those hips back. Lower yourself down. It's not a bad idea to put yourself close enough where you can balance off the wall a little bit if you need to on these. As you can tell, this is heavy and I needed to take a break. I really wanted to finish this set. My recovery was shit the night before, so I'm paying for it now. It's amazing, if you guys pay attention, how much your recovery, your sleep, and your eating the day before will matter for your lift the next day. There you go. Good. Really stay stable and pulse through. 10 to 12 reps on each leg. So you're going to go down, halfway up, and all the way down, all the way up. Down, halfway up, all the way down, and then all the way up. Take a breath as you need it, but don't quit. Try to finish the set no matter what you have to do. As you can tell, I dropped the dumbbell to finish this set because my leg was going to explode. Quads were so tight and tired. This is another good indicator that I need to foam roll. You probably need to foam roll as well. All right, so getting down on the hands and knees, we're gonna do hydrants next. So don't be like me. Remember to put your band on before you get to the floor, as well. It's a pain in the ass to get back up. Okay, so you're in a nice quadruped position. Hydrants means probably exactly what you think it is. Looks like a dog peeing on a fire hydrant. See how I move my knee out to the side against that band. So you're really trying to stay in a nice straight line, keeping your core active, and then trying not to dump into your stationary hip. I've reached back here to hold on to my glute and stabilize through my lower back. I want to make sure that I can feel both sides staying nice and stable, trying to cue myself to not dump into this stationary hip. Really adduct out to the side and try and keep your shoulders balanced. You're going to do 10 to 20 on each side, depending on how your hip feels and how strong your band is. This is a medium resistance band, so 15 isn't a problem. Next, you're going to do donkey kicks. So same quadruped position, and then you're going to really flex that foot and kick up, really focusing on using your glute. Or you can be like me and kick that PVC behind you. So here is a position I would work on helping you guys correct. See the angle at which my foot is kicking away from my body? My knee is coming out to the side, my ankle is crossing my midline, so it's crossing over to the other side of my body. That's not ideal. Really try and focus on pushing that leg straight up to the ceiling. Squeeze through that glute. Remember, you're not yanking and you're not pulling. You're going to do between 10 and 20 reps. Really using that band to aid you and using that glute to force that contraction. Next, we're going to go back into those split squats. I couldn't find a way to get out of them. They were just brutal. So what I've done here is I've left my band on and I'm going to drop the weight. So I'm going to change my resistance, not significantly, but in a different format. So I've used a lighter dumbbell, but I've added the band. The band is going to help me create the tension between my upper legs, between them, and then I'm still going to guide myself down, activating on these pulsing reps. Guide yourself down, push those hips back, push hard through the heel. Remember, you're pulsing 1.5, all the way down, halfway up, all the way down, all the way up, halfway down, all the way down. There we go. Remember, you guys, pulses, 1.5s. So they're almost like 2 little pulses. All the way down, halfway up, all the way down, and all the way up. All the way down, halfway up, all the way down, all the way up. The counting is the hardest thing. You need to be able to practice counting and activating when you're doing these kinds of exercises. This is what's good for your brain. This is where the hard work is. Trying to think straight when you're working so hard. Take a second and recover between legs if you need to, like I am. Right, get that leg engaged, standing tall on your standing leg. You really want to flex into that leg. Brace your core. Now make sure your hips are straight. Lower and control. Lower and control. 1.5s. Down, halfway, and all the way up. Down, halfway, and then all the way up. Down, halfway, all the way up. Really remember to come all the way up after you've gone down halfway. All the way down, halfway up, all the way down, all the way up. Really trying to focus on that front heel. Down, halfway down, all the way up. Beautiful. Okay, you guys, take a rest. Theoretically, you won't need to take a rest like I had to. I'm going to pick an appropriate weight to finish the set. But as you can tell, sometimes workouts are just hard and ugly, and they need to be done anyway. Let's go into hydrants and take a little break. I'm going to reposition my body just a little bit so you can see how I'm moving that knee out to the side. I'm also trying to stay out of my elbows so I'm not locked out, but I'm gripping with my hands, trying to use the muscles in my upper body to stabilize. Come out to the side, control that motion. Now, the perks of having a coach with you guys is if I was having you do this and I was coaching, well, me, I would tell me to pause at the top. When you extend that leg out and come out to the side, pause at the top and then control back in. So you're getting good activation. Don't dump into that non-moving hip. Switch legs after you've done 10 to 20 reps. Ideally, I want you guys at like 3 sets of 15 for these hydrants, 3 sets of 10 for the Bulgarian split squats, and 3 sets of 20 for the donkey kicks. All right, donkey kicks. Extend that body just a little bit, flex that toe, and then really focus on squeezing through the glute. See, it's not a very big range of motion. We're really trying to focus on getting the core tight. Keep your chin down, keep your neck flat, roll your shoulders back, and then pulse that heel right up to the ceiling. You're going to do 15 to 20. That's the ideal number. There we go. Really push that heel to the ceiling. Push to the ceiling. Brace that core, making sure that you're not dumping left to right. Unlock your elbows. Squeeze just through the butt cheek. Really focus on squeezing through your butt cheek. Press it up, back down. Tuck and press up. Tuck and press up. There we go, you guys. Okay, take a breath. Unfortunately, we have one more set of split squats. So, if you think you're going to die, then we're doing it right. And if you don't think you're going to die, then maybe we need to get you more weight. So, Stretch out those hamstrings a little bit, get some water. Try not to spend as long as I am checking text messages and reviewing your workout. Let's just try to keep moving. Get yourself into good position. Extend that leg behind you. And we're gonna go right down into it. So you can see that I've completely ditched my weight because I'm exhausted and I'm not getting hurt to do a video. Really think about that pulsing. Down, halfway up, all the way down, all the way up. Down. You'll see that there's these 2 little pulses at the bottom. Yes, I added a little pulse at the bottom because honestly, I knew that I couldn't handle the weight, but I knew I could handle more work. This is something that you can manipulate too. What are other ways to make it harder without loading the joints further? So these little pulsing actions are really going to make the work a lot more intense. However, you're not adding a bunch of weight to your joint, and that can often make you feel better the next day and during recovery. I really thought my quads were going to explode here, you guys. You can see my 3 attempts to get this one leg done. All right, we're going to switch sides. There's a lot of activation in that hip because you're really trying to stabilize. Now, make sure both hips are pointed forward. Your front foot is straight. Your back is straight. Down and back up. So down, halfway up, and then all the way up tall. 1.5s. Down for a full, halfway up, all the way down, all the way up. Down, halfway down, all the way down, all the way up. You got this. Really trying to create those little pulses in there. Keep firing. You can do this. Down, back up. Down, halfway up, and all the way up. Those little pulses are really going to get a lot of endurance out of that muscle. Try and keep that form. Activate that upper back. Belly button into your spine. Remember to push your hip back. Don't get sloppy on these. Little pulses. Finish strong. Remember to drink some water. Okay, one more set of hydrants. We are almost there, you guys. So getting into quadruped position, brace through the core, roll back through those shoulders, get those elbow pits facing out, points of your elbows back towards your body, pull out to the side, control up, and control back down. I would have you guys slow this rate down just a little bit. Really want you to feel it and then take the opportunity to recover. I've been swatting at this mosquito. I don't know if you guys can see him, but he's been attacking me for 3 days, and I keep trying to get him. Good. Switch sides. We're aiming for 15 on each leg this way. Come out to the side. Really draw out from that side hip. Make sure you're not dumping on the stationary hip. Dumping means that you're rolled into and pressing out through the hip that's not moving, so that you're not keeping the work in your core. Donkey kicks. Flex that foot to the ceiling. Stay strong and controlled. Press up. Keep the presence in your lower leg. And I really want you thinking about your glute. See how I'm moving just through my butt and my leg and not through my back? Really want to remember that this isn't your lower back working. Kick that foot to the ceiling. Really remember to brace. Don't forget to count. All right, take a breath. We're going to switch sides. Kick up. Really flex strong through that toe. Flex that toe at your heel. Press that heel to the ceiling. Really squeezing through those glutes. Really want you guys aiming for 15 reps. 15 solid reps. Check that hip. Soften that elbow. Make sure your shoulder isn't rolled forward. Your core engaged. Take these checks. As I cue them, remember to check in physically and see if they're there. All right, you guys, get a little bit of water. That was a good one for sure. So typically at the end of a workout, I do a little bit of mobility, at least one set of push-ups or two. Today I was pretty smoked, so I did a few. Feeling those triceps work. These are a little different. So these are forearm push-ups. This is really going to dial into those triceps. You're really going to lower your body back flat onto those forearms and then press yourself up using those triceps. Guide those elbows back behind you and press up using those triceps. Couple of push-ups and we'll be done. Lower down, press up. 2, 3, 4, 5, and rest. Little child's pose. Stretch out through those hips. You want to finish that set of push-ups, go into modified like you see me here. See how my elbows go back behind me? But they're not perfectly glued into my sides. All right, you guys, great work today. Thank you so much for working out, and I will see you guys next time.